Telly Cat Keeps Track. Telly McNally was an alley cat, but more than that, a telly cat. He kept a tally all day long of who was right and who was wrong, of who was tall and who was taller, of who was small and who was smaller. And when things were said and done, Telly McNally always won. He went scratch, scratch, scratchy, scratch, scratch. One day, Tom Cat splattered with rain, plopped in a chair, and began to complain. I'm soaked my skin. No cat is as wet. But Telly McNally said, Sly, not yet. 10 drops for you and 16 more. 16 for me means I'm the wettest you had the rivalry. Then he stood on a box and announced with a grin, I'm Telly McNally and I always win. Scratch, scratch, scratchy, scratch, scratch. No way, shouted Tomcat. I say you're a cheat. To settle this fairly, let's meet in the street. Tom dove in a puddle and rainwater rose over his chin to the tip of his nose. He jumped to his feet and declared, Now I'm better, admit it, McNally. I'm better. Not true, replied Telly. The score is now tied. You're the winner out here, but I won inside. Scratch, scratch, so scratch, scratch, scratchy. Scratch, scratch. Let us inside. Tom. Telly won. Let us outside. Tom. I'll do even better, they heard Telly utter as Telly McNally slid down the gutter. Stop, shouted Tomcat. Kitty yelled, Wait! But sadly for Telly, their chaos came too late. He went scratch, scratch, screechy, scratch, splash. Help, shouted Telly. I'm stuck in the drain. I don't want to do better. I'm sick of the rain. But how can we help you? We are so deep below. Just run and find Boots. She's the smartest she'll know. Boots stretched toward Telly, then said with a frown, I can't reach him either. He's much too far down. We need someone taller. But who could that be? From below, a voice came. Strips is tallest, you'll see. They went search. Strippy stretched and he stretched with all of his might, but Telly McNally remained out of sight. If Stripes cannot get him, none of us can, Boots said. Then she added, we need a new plan. We don't just need taller, we also need smaller. Well, Kitty's the one. They heard taller holler. We need smallest and tallest, and we need smallest and tallest and smartest, and yet we still need another. Who'll have to get wet? Boots whispered her plan as they stood in a huddle. Then, one by one, they all lay by the puddle. Paw in paw, they formed a long chain and lured poor Tom down the dark, dank drain. Stretch, stretchy, stretch. Hooray! They all shouted. We've finally got him, and out of the hole. Together they brought him. After 5 hives and hugs, they waved to McNally. Then back in the alley, he made one last tally. Scratch, she went, scratch, scratch, scratchy, scratch, scratch. Titty, Tolly, Tom, Stripes, Boots. Friends forever. Scratch, scratch, scratchy, scratch, scratch. Tally up. Have you ever used your finger to help you count? Using fingers is one way to keep track of the number of things we are counting, but sometimes the items we are counting total more than our 10 fingers. Tallying is another way for people to keep track of things they count. Tally marks look like this. Does this remind you of using your finger to count? To tally, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, tally cross 5. Each tally like represents one thing that we are counting. We will continue counting by adding more tallies, lines, or marks. 6, 7, 8, 9. Tally cross 10. The next group would be 11, 12, 30, 40. Tally cross 50. When we count group of tallies, we count by 5 or any leftover marks. Group less than 5. We keep counting by ones, the numbers below, and with a group of 3. With tallying, we can keep track of more than one thing at a time. In our story on page 5, Tally McNally kept track of his cans and Stripey's cans. Each time a can was added to Strip's pile, Tally added one mark by Strip's name. Each time a can was added to Tally's pile, he added a mark by his own name. This would have been a great way to see who was taller if all the cans had been the same size. But that sneaky Tally scrunched some of his cans. That way he could add more cans to his tally and make it look like he was taller. Can you tell how he tried to trick Kitty on page 6 so that his tally was smaller? The end.